Hey there. Ever stumbled upon an ingredient that seems ordinary at first glance but holds so much mystery and depth? Today, I'm diving into one of those, an herb called Epazote. It's the kind of herb you might overlook at the store, or even pull out of your garden thinking it's just a weed. But let me tell you, Epazote is far from ordinary. Let's uncover its secrets together. First, let's talk about its name. Epazote might sound exotic, but it goes by plenty of others. Depending on where you are, people might call it Mexican tea, Jesuit's tea, or even wormseed because of its medicinal properties. In South America, you'll hear it referred to as paico, and in Brazil, it's epacho. Its roots trace back to ancient times, and its name in Nahuatl, the language of the Aztecs, means skunk sweat. Yeah, you heard that right. It's not exactly the most flattering name, but it perfectly captures its strong, pungent aroma. Trust me though, it's a smell you'll learn to love, especially when you see what it can do. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. The flavour. Epazote isn't shy, it's earthy, slightly bitter, and even a little medicinal. For some, it's an acquired taste, but when used just right, it transforms dishes into something magical. In Mexican cooking, it's a must-have for beans, soups, and stews. Ever heard of posole, menudo, or chiles rellenos? Epazote adds that perfect layer of complexity to these dishes, and while it's most famous in Mexican cuisine, it also pops up in Caribbean and South American recipes. If you're new to cooking with Epazote, start small. For cooking, 1 to 2 sprigs of fresh Epazote or half a teaspoon of dried Epazote is usually enough for a dish serving 4 people. Its flavour is strong, so a little goes a long way. Add it toward the end of cooking to preserve its aroma and flavour. For example, toss a sprig into your beans in the last 10 minutes of simmering. It not only enhances flavour, but also helps reduce bloating from beans. If you're feeling adventurous, try sprinkling a pinch of dried Epazote into soups or stews, or use it to flavour tamales and enchiladas. It's incredibly versatile. How to make Epazote tea. Making Epazote tea is simple and a great way to enjoy its medicinal benefits. Here's how. Boil 1 cup of water. Add half to 1 teaspoon of dried Epazote or a small sprig of fresh Epazote. Let it steep for 5 to 7 minutes, then strain. The tea has an earthy, herbal taste with a slight bitterness. You can sweeten it with honey or add a squeeze of lemon to balance the flavours. Drink it after meals to aid digestion, or when you're feeling bloated or crampy. Now here's where it gets even more fascinating. Epazote has been used for centuries, not just in cooking but in healing. The Aztecs and Mayans treated it as both a food and a medicine. It's packed with a compound called ascaridol, which is known to help eliminate intestinal parasites. Yes, it's a natural dewormer, but that's not all. Epazote is great for reducing bloating, cramps, and even diarrhea. It's like a digestive reset in herb form. What's even more surprising is how it's used beyond the body. Did you know Epazote is a natural insect repellent? Its strong aroma wards off ants, mosquitoes, and flies, making it useful in gardens and homes. Now, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't share a little warning here. As powerful as Epazote is, it's not for everyone or every situation, pregnant or breastfeeding. This herb isn't for you. It can cause uterine contractions and isn't safe for little ones either. Also, moderation is key. Too much epazote can be toxic because of its high concentration of ascaridole. Stick to the amounts I mentioned earlier and avoid concentrated oils unless advised by a professional. For some, epazote is just a seasoning, but for others, it's sacred. Indigenous cultures view it as more than a culinary or medicinal herb. It's believed to have spiritual properties, used in rituals to cleanse, purify, and ward off negative energy. I love how herbs, like epazote, connect us to history and tradition. It's incredible to think that something growing in a garden could hold so much meaning, don't you think? So here's my challenge for you. Give epazote a chance. Try it in a traditional dish or brew a mild tea to experience its unique flavour. And if you've already cooked with it, I'd love to hear your favourite recipes or tips. This herb is a little wild, a little mysterious, and full of surprises. Kind of like the best stories. And now that you know its secrets, I hope you'll see it in a new light. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you're curious about more herbs and spices, stick around for the next video. We're just scratching the surface of this amazing world. Once again, thank you for watching.